At 9:47 p.m., your laptop still glows. Slack pings, one more email, one more task. In America, this is normal, and it's quietly burning people out at an unsustainable rate.
Compare that with your Australian cousins. The paradox is this. On paper, Americans don't necessarily work more hours than Aussies. In fact, total average weekly hours for full-time employees in the US sit between 40 and 44 hours. In Australia, full-time employees often work around 43.7 hours per week, with many industries sitting between 40 and 42.9 hours. It's pretty similar, right? The real question is, why are Americans so burnt out, while Australians are chilled, if they work similar hours? The answer lies at the heart of this argument. Because burnout isn't just about hours worked. It's about how work fits into your life. The first major difference is recovery time. In Australia, full-time workers are legally entitled to a minimum of 4 weeks of paid annual leave. That's 20 working days a year. On top of that, they typically receive up to 13 paid public holidays and 10 days of paid sick or carers leave. That's not a perk, it's a baseline. And almost everyone takes it. It is considered normal. Workplaces generally support their staff stepping away fully. There's a shared understanding. Time off is necessary to function well. It's rare for a boss to pressure someone who's sick to come to work. That would break the unwritten Aussie cultural rules. You may be shocked to learn that, while on vacation, Australians often receive 17.5% extra on their base salary to compensate for their potential loss of overtime and for the extra costs experienced by being on leave. In the United States, there is no federal law requiring paid vacation. Most workers receive 10 to 15 days of paid vacation after their first year, increasing to between 15 and 20 days later on. Also, there is no requirement for private businesses to provide time off for public holidays. That's a significant gap, and it compounds over time. But the difference goes deeper than policy. Again, it's cultural.
In the US, even when vacation is available, many employees don't take it all. Some fear falling behind. Others worry about how it will be perceived. The result? Unused leave, blurred boundaries, and a constant low-grade stress that never fully switches off. That's the always-on mentality. American work culture often rewards visibility over efficiency. You get good grades for being online late at night, responding quickly, and staying available. This creates a hidden extension of the workday. Even if official hours aren't extreme, the psychological load is. Work follows people home, into weekends, and into what should be recovery time.
Australians, by contrast, tend to draw firmer lines. When the workday ends, it ends. Weekends are even more protected. Social life, sport, and outdoor time aren't luxuries. They're part of the rhythm of life. This balance acts as a pressure release valve that prevents stress from rising to chronic burnout. Finally, there's the role of identity. In the US, work is often tightly tied to self-worth. Career success becomes a primary measure of value. This raises the emotional stakes of every task, every deadline, every perceived failure. In Australia, while ambition exists, identity is typically more diversified. You have friends, family, lifestyle, and leisure. All those elements hold weight. That broader identity base reduces the emotional intensity of work stress.
Put simply, Americans aren't just working. They're carrying work with them all the time. Australians, even when working long hours, are better at putting it down.
All those facts are amazing when you realize that Australia typically comes in second in the world for the median wealth per adult. The US typically places between 12th and 15th. Additionally, Australians live on average 4 to 5 years longer than our US cousins. Is there a lesson here? Burnout isn't caused by hours alone. It's driven by a lack of recovery, weak boundaries, and a culture that never truly switches off. That's where the real divide lies.
So here are 3 ways you can live more like Aussies. Treat time off as non-negotiable. Schedule and take your full vacation. Don't save it. Use it. Recovery isn't optional. It's performance maintenance.
Create a hard stop to your workday. Set a firm end time and stick to it. Turn off notifications. The goal isn't fewer hours, it's protected time. Build a life outside of work. Commit to activities that have nothing to do with your career, such as sports, social groups, and time outdoors. The more your identity expands, the less work can consume you. The difference doesn't need dramatic policy changes. It's a shift in mindset from living to working as just one part of living. Get with the Aussie Playbook. You may live a longer and happier life. If this video was helpful and brought you some clarity, a like and a subscription are the best ways to stay informed with us. If you enjoyed this, you'll love our next video. Stay tuned.